Okay, we're back on the pink bench. It's just a little proud, but I think it might have a little bend to it. Yep, it does. You can take care of that. Okay. And this is going to go in here. And this is going to go in here. And we fit this piece in. And it looks like it's sitting right where we want. Now we're just going to have to duplicate this on this piece, and then put another, duplicate these in the air. Back to the Bridgeport. Now I got to duplicate this over here so that the block will fit in. I've scribed a mark. It can just be a Let's see how we did. These two up. That's the one I just made. The one from before. Now there's a measurement here that I got to watch for. That's this in here. How far away this plate is in relation to up and down. We've already figured out the bottom back part, and about the only way I can measure this is to go from the bottom of the hole. This isn't really straight, and it might not even matter. $6.60. So I've got to go from the bottom of this hole to the face of this piece of aluminum. Transfer that to this side. Make sure it's in the middle. And that's a duplicate of that. So we filled in all our craters. Rubber's going to go down through here, around the bottom of this, and just cover that. It'll just cover this piece of steel, fact, it's gonna be straight across until you get into there. See if we can visualize this. Looks like we got more over here than we do on this side. I don't know what happened there. There's about 125 thousandths difference, 1/8 of an inch difference. I'm going to have to examine this a little bit more. I think the difference is right here. This is offset to this side just a little bit, like about 125 thousandths. And I bet it's not even going to matter. If I pull this over, I'm stuck with it. Too bad. Anyway, it's going to fill in right around it. There'll be a piece in here. I probably can just cut that out of there. I'm not worried about it. And it'll fill up all of this. And around the back on each side and across the bottom. All you got to do is secure these. I think I might even do a through bolt. Could go through here and right through one of these with one of the bolts. I like to have top and bottom so that, because I got to put this under almost 30 tons of pressure, and all the rubber is going to be going down to the bottom, and it'll end up spreading it out. So I'll have to go 2 into here. There is another way. I can put one through here, put 2 caps on. I can put a piece right across this. That'll keep the bottom from spreading out. Okay, let's see if we can time to go to the think tank. See what I can come up with. Got one adjustment I gotta make. This distance right in here, I can't have that. I gotta mill the top of this down. This, it's probably about well, yeah, about a 32nd. We'll leave a 32nd of an inch, just enough to cover the end of this, and cover the end of this part here too. So it'll cut. Oh, gotta bring out. It's got to cover the end of this and the end of this. So we'll go over to Bridgeport, knock this down. Okay, here we are back at the pink bench. A few things I did well off camera. I milled this down, straightened out this, made it a little wider, and the top piece for the pot, drilled the holes, drilled and tapped. So this will sit on here, put rubber in here, and inject it with that pusher. I also numbered them, or lettered them, so that I wouldn't get, it's getting to the point now where things are starting to be one side only. Like this one here won't fit in this side. It's just freehand milling, that's what happens. What I'm going to do is set this so this will be filled in with rubber, and this will be removable, so they can put that in, bolt the exhaust system up to it, and any kind of pressure that goes down is going to be met with rubber. It'll be insulated. No more rattles. The customer did mention that it was a awful noisy car anyway. But now it's time, drill and tap, so we can secure these two pieces. And I'll probably end up doing, these will go at 3/8. I'll probably do a 5/16 on this side, just because there's not enough room for a 3/8. So we're off to the Bridgeport. Looks like my DRO has a mind of its own, and it I can't make my head go up and down that fast, so I'm gonna have to locate. Gonna have to do these by eye. I really didn't want to do this. It was awful nice of it to take care of that for me. But since the last installment, I've done quite a bit. Only because I did it in the afternoon and there's just too much noise going around here to try and video. So what I've done is drilled the two holes out, drilled them and tapped them. For these two bolts here, oh, I want to put the other. I'm going to put the plate in first. Those holes go right through, and they'll secure it. So we got our bottom plate. What I also did was I notched this out, countersunk 2 screws threaded into this bottom plate here, so that would stay secure. And that gives me a little bit more rubber to cover the bottom of this. So 3 holes here, and that's for the top plate. So we'll be able to locate that and make sure that these holes line up with that. Now I needed a way to secure this. Rather than drilling all the way straight through, out through the bottom, what I decided to do was make these here, and they'll sit. They sit on these two ends. There's one for the other side. It serves two purposes. It holds this plate down, and also locates this top piece. Now this can't go anywhere. It can lift up, but the plate's going to be, this pusher's going to be sitting right on top of it, and the pot on top of that. So that can't go anywhere. It locates it exactly where I want it. Gives me enough rubber to fill in here. And I made two half-inch, half-ass plugs to sit in here to locate the top. And I think I went from the other side. And the pot's going to go on top of that. And then we'll push the rubber through. See, what I had a problem was is since the DRO is broken, locating these holes exactly the same as these holes was a little off, which is why this one dances around. I just cut the threads off of a couple of bolts. But it goes in, sits down straight. And the only thing left to do now is just to clean it up. Wash all my oily hands, the oil from my hands off it. Put it in the press and heat it up and run it through a couple of cycles with the release agent on it, so that none of the rubber will stick to the aluminum. And I also got to coat this with the release agent so that when I take this off, this will stay here, and it'll just leave a pocket for it to go in when it gets on the car. So that brings us to the end, almost, other than running it in the press, pushing the rubber in, and we'll show you how that comes out. Okay, everything's all set now. Just came out of the press. And here's a comparison to the old one. And obviously this is where the rubber got injected in. There's the pocket. Sits in there just like it should. All my measurements came out perfect. Everything lines up just like it should. and it doesn't just slip out of there. It takes a little bit to get it out, which is good. We don't want it falling apart. I think the customer will be happy with this. I got one more to make, because we had two people send in these particular mounts. They're both the same car, the same year and make car. One's a convertible, and the other one's a coupe. And that brings it to an end. Hope I didn't bore you too much. Thanks for watching.